brothers and sisters of the world.
And we're back on time this week. Look at that. Some consistency
No.
coming back for the season.
The one time I do it, Ian just leaves me hanging, man. I don't know what to do with this guy.
Man, look, I just saw a Chelsea fan on Reddit. Come on now.
We need an actual, like, what are those things called? You know, the
Yeah, the
steam
director thingy.
clapper things.
Yeah.
We need one
I
of
should
those.
have in the yeah, I forgot.
We'll go to
the
Party
name.
City.
In the roof.
Bring one back. But nah, we're back. I think the circumstances of yesterday necessitated that we had to be back because, I mean, it's like they never left. I put that as the title because I think it's perfect. I mean, it's as harrowing as anything we saw last season, but it's something that, I don't know, you kind of miss in a way. At least I do. I missed it, but it's back, and we got 37 more of these, so I hope y'all are ready. But where do we even start? Do we start with just the match, I guess? I mean, selection was a little weird, I thought, for the teams. That might have just been fitness related, but Ian, I'll start with you. I know that you didn't watch really any of the preseason, so I think this is a good place for your first impressions for this team. I want to hear what you think.
How does it feel that we stagnated? Like, to me, it looks like we made steps backwards instead of forward. I don't know. Chance creation, I didn't really see any like high quality chances being made. The opening goal was credit to Lautaro and Lukaku. They made the most out of the situation. The second goal was, yeah, whatever it was, like what Dumfries hit it with his belly, with his chest.
Yeah.
I don't really know. But in all honesty, the match for me, even though we put the pressure on, sounded like Tottenham a few years ago, it was boring to me. I don't know. Like, just the chances, they weren't there. I don't know. It wasn't like an engaging match, you know. Like, usually Inter, for me, from what I remember from past years, it was attack, sure, get burnt on the counter attack. Why not? But like, you know, you had the chances, you had the missed opportunities, the missed sitters, you know, something to keep you engaged. Yesterday, I just didn't feel that. I don't know. It feels like we made a couple of steps backward as opposed to last season. It might be due to some tactical questionable changes. Like I said, I'm just looking at the lineup here. Darmian starting, Di Marco starting, Skriniar after his injury came back. Brozovic was in doubt, I know. We got the 3 points. I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with this tempo for 37 more weeks, but sure.
37 more Serie A weeks, and then at least, 4 Champions League weeks, 2 or 3 Coppa Italia weeks.
Coppa Italia weeks,
yeah.
Too
Super Coppa even. There's a lot to come. There's a lot.
Well, at least that's going to be just one match, right? The Super Copa, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. But that's, I think we talked about it last season. This is getting a little ahead, but that's still one random midweek where you're playing and no one else is. And I don't know, that could be a disadvantage at times. But I want to go to you, Dave. I want to see if you agree with Ian or to me, I feel like it wasn't a step backwards. It was more just kind of a step sideways. I think backwards is a little too early, but on the day, yes, there were some bad things, but I think it's just things that are going to work out. What do you think, Dave?
Well, I think it's more of a slow start, if anything. I definitely see why Ian says that he saw a step backwards, because if we compare what we saw at the end of last season to what we saw today, it seems like it's a team that they don't know each other. They're restarting again. They're starting to know what to do, to learn the patterns all over again, as opposed to continuity. For example, if we want to compare Milan, we saw a continuity of last year. They didn't look rusty at all. They beat Udinese 4-2. Although they had that questionable penalty, we could troll all we want, but they were deserving winners yesterday, and they didn't look rusty at all. I think that, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what it is. It could be a combination of things. The stadium for Lecce, they were sold out. The stadium was sold out yesterday. You know, they back in Serie A after a couple of seasons. They're excited. The city's buzzing. the team is motivated. To me, it was like one of those matches that they were ready to die on that pitch, and you could tell, that goalkeeper turned into Consigli. He was saving everything. It looks like one of those situations where we've seen many times where we just bang and bang and bang on the door, but never we fail to score. So I'm gonna choose to actually be positive because I feel like the fact that we were able to find that goal at the end at the very very last minute, it shows that the mentality is improving. We have a never say die attitude, and we try to the very last second. But yeah, it's mixed feelings. I agree with Ian in the part because it does look like where we did take a step back. It's a slow start as opposed to a continuation. But on the other end, I do see why it turned out to be a harder match than maybe we anticipated. They're motivated. They have all their fans behind them. It's the first match, and again, they're the champions of Serie B. So I guess there's a respect that comes with that as well. So let's just wait and see. But yeah, good points, Ian. I do agree with you to an extent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. No, I think it's just yeah. I haven't watched this team since the end of May. You two have watched preseason games. Maybe you kept that in mind. You were just watching the team, through the summer as well. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe I had my expectations too high. Thinking okay,
Yeah,
second in the league, bounce back. Get off to a strong start against a
yeah,
recently promoted side that had the best defense in Serie B, and yet somehow didn't. I think played only one of those guys. I think they had like two fullbacks playing in the center. They had a midfielder playing in
yeah. They
one
were missing some
fullback.
players. Yeah.
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 No. I mean, if we want to expand a little bit on the tactical choices made, um, at first, when we saw the lineup, I'm sure the vast majority of us Inter fans were like, "What's going on? Why is DeMarco starting? Why not Bastoni or whatnot?" But by the time we got into the 60th, 70th minute, I guess we could see why he started DeMarco. He wanted to give Gosens the start on as the left wing back position, but he also wanted DeMarco because of that left leg of his, and that's what created the first goal. That ball up to Darmian, and then he deflected it to Lukaku. I guess that was exactly proving Inzaghi wrong. I mean, right away. What we scored after a minute and 30 seconds. So that tactical choice it paid off for Inzaghi right away. Demarco over Bastoni, and the goal came from there. Other than that, Darmian, I'm not sure if it's a matter of fitness causing them to start over Dumfries or if it was tactical choice. Um, but yeah, it does look like some guys are playing themselves back into shape. We mentioned Skriniar again last episode. I'm gonna mention him again. He didn't look his best, especially on the goal. You could see he's not up to the pace. He can't keep up with the play, and he's kind of pedestrian. And Brozovic, even we know that he was a doubt to play all week, and even Inzaghi said it himself that he had to grit his teeth to play or whatnot. So I guess those are many excuses we could have. Um, which means that I'm looking forward to Spezia with like a magnifying glass. I cannot wait to see that match. We're gonna be at home, I believe, and that's what I want to wait for them to really make a good observation. But yeah, yesterday was not convincing by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, the last 2 seasons, I believe, we started at home. I mean, one of those was the pandemic season where nobody's
Hmm.
there, but
Hmm.
I think starting at home even gives you a little bit of an advantage. Like, look at Milan
Absolutely.
this past match day.
Yeah.
Even some of these smaller sides that have done well. We saw
Hmm.
Lecce, of course, perform.
Yeah.
So I think
Last
there's
year we
also
started
that.
at home, right?
Yeah, we started at home against Genoa.
Genoa.
Yeah,
It was
Genoa, I
like
believe.
4-0.
Yeah, it
And
made
then the year
Dzeko look
before
like he was
that,
going to score 30.
I know. And then the year before that, we had what Lecce, right? No, that was 4-0
No, that
again.
was I don't was it Lecce that season? I thought that was Lukaku's first
Yeah, that was
game.
Lukaku's first
So that would have
first
been 2019. So we're looking at
2019.
21, 22 Inter. Let me see if I can find some
Yeah,
stats.
I think it was like
Um
Fiorentina or something.
Maybe, I don't know.
Fiorentina
It was
4-3, yeah, with Ambrosio winner. That was
Oh my god, that was that match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fiorentina. Oh, and was
Yeah.
that at home again? Yeah.
Yeah, that was at home. That was come from behind. Yeah, that was a mess. I remember that.
Yeah.
And that was
Look, Loki,
Um,
I'm glad Aristo can't make it again. What a surprise. Because yeah, I would hate to have to tell him he was right because he was very skeptical about the Lecce game. He was like, "Hey, listen, he's scared that we may even draw it," and he was almost right. I was super confident, newly promoted side and all that stuff. I expect us to walk all over them, but I was definitely wrong. So, Risto, if you're listening, I'll still give you your shout out. You were right about this, but next time maybe you need to show up on the episode.
yeah, we
I
won, and that was his thing last season. He wasn't going to show up if we lost, and we won, and now he's still not here this year.
No, we
I
need to
just want
figure
to
out
say
what
I
this
don't
guy's
know if I
doing
have
for real.
permission. I just want to show everyone this. How Presto keeps
Ian,
fucking with me and Dave, and now
we're pulling receipts. It's been
yeah.
11 minutes. We're pulling
Ever since he
receipts.
said that, like it's like he's never been able to be consistent with the podcast.
I send it every time, every time.
Oh my god.
I
But
just watched the goal back. The Lecce scored yesterday.
uh,
Skriniar is suspect.
mhm.
yeah,
He missed the interception. Then the striker got it. Yeah, and then De Bruyne and him just fluked it up.
I
It's
think
bad enough.
Brozovic has something to do with that as well too, right? Because I think he was lazy on his tracking back or something.
I mean,
Are you
Maybe,
still
but
looking
it
at it?
speaks
out.
volumes that your defensive midfielder has to track their main striker because your two
Hmm.
center backs are too
Yeah,
busy
yeah.
handling each other. You know.
You're right. You're right. No, for
Uh,
the defending on that goal was super suspect. We need to fix it up.
mm,
And again, like Skriniar, he's like I'm not. He's a guy that we know what we have, and that's why I keep giving him a pass. If there's a guy that deserves a pass, is definitely Skriniar. Let's keep remembering that he came off an injury. He's behind everybody else, and he's playing himself back into shape. But yeah, he was definitely not good on that goal. Neither was DeVry. We can even blame Honda if we want because he was slow on that. But again, I know Ian's not gonna hear that he has selective hearing. So let's keep it pushing, I guess.
Yeah, no. At first, I had the same take that I don't think Handanovic should have been beaten at that angle.
Yeah,
I said that, and then I know a few people kind of pushed back. And said that it was a tough one to get to. I'm still not sure. I still think he could have done
he
better,
could have
but
gotten it. I mean, it's a matter of
um,
getting down fast enough, in my opinion. Yeah,
yeah, and I mean that's going to be something if Handanovic continues to start this season. He's going to be under even more of a microscope because you have his actual replacement there. It's not just Radu, who we just saw. Saw
yeah,
someone mentioning it in the comments, who we just saw commit, another massive goalkeeping error. Um, we have a real goalkeeper on the bench, and I hope we get to see him soon. I just want to see him in a competitive match. I mean, I watched him at AFCON, but he was still so rusty. I don't think that really
yeah.
counted much. So that's going to be something to look out for. I don't think that Brozovic should have started this game. His fitness, we know, was not there, and he was coming off of a small injury.
Yeah.
Aslani was one of the best players in the preseason. I think he could have started, and we probably would have done well. But I mean, got the win somehow. I also thought it was interesting how many strikers Inzaghi threw on the pitch. I don't know what kind of formation we were playing at the end of the match. It was just like 2-0-9 or something. Like,
No, actually, I was just looking at it earlier this morning. He ended the game in a 2-2-6, I believe. We had DeVry and Skriniar, and no, he took Skriniar off. So we had DeVry and who else was in the back?
Bastoni.
And Bastoni, and then he had DeMarco. Oh my God, like six people.
Yeah,
And then
DeMarco up.
and
Golson. I
then
mean, not Golson's. Dumfries up.
and then what was Mkhitaryan, Barella?
Yeah. I forgot
Yeah,
Mkhitaryan even came
he
on.
packed he packed the
yeah.
midfield and packed the front line as well. You
And
know,
then all four strikers.
well, it worked, so I guess you got to give him credit for it. I kind of like seeing that. I like the borderline desperation of like, you know what, we're not gonna start the season on a bad note. Let's throw everything we have at it. Literally, he looked at his bench and every offensive option he had, he threw it on. It didn't necessarily make any sense. I'm sure it's not like something that he could use during a match, but in a desperate measure like this, where Lecce were not really looking to play anymore anyway. So it's not like we were going to be exposed to counters or something like that. So I guess that's why he did it, and I give him kudos for it. Like he didn't like the balls to do it, and it paid off. But going forward, starting with Spezia, another team that was battling a team that was battling relegation last season, I like to see us win handily. Because again, after the first match, after the first goal, we tried to get that second goal. We had a couple close calls. I think with Barella dribbling into the box. I think Lautaro had a header that he missed completely. We had a couple little half chances, but I feel like if we just forced the issue a little bit, we could have been able to just put the game away easily. So I'm looking forward to Spezia, and I want to see that fix from the beginning.
It is also encouraging to see that we have a coach now that is willing to change from the first system that he plays, because with Conte, we saw he was always going to stick with the 3-5-2, in my opinion, or 3-4-1-2, the failed experiment. He wasn't even the late game. He wasn't really trying as much to change the shape, if you ask me. And even with Spalletti, when he left, we saw him play the 4-2-3-1. And when things weren't going our way, he took out one striker for another. He took out a midfielder for a midfielder. Sometimes you need the more bodies forward.
Yeah.
I think Spalletti. The only time I remember him changing anything, he played a back three for like 30 minutes against Torino, like his first or second year, and then Versalto got injured, and he never went back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did really like. Not in like a tactical way. I just liked seeing like Dzeko and Lukaku, like these giant dudes. Like it was just, we're going to put all these trees in the box, and the ball's gonna hit one of them, and it's gonna go in, and that's what happened. Yeah. And Dzeko even missed at that attempt.
Yeah, and thank God Dumfries was right after him. Because again, let's give DeMarco some credit as well. I know me personally, I'm always hard on him. He was sending in some peach balls in there, peaches of balls, and that goalkeeper, he was having the match of his career. Usually in those moments, I remember last season in those moments, late game, DeMarco skied those balls because you could tell the pressure was getting to him. So it seems like he's worked on it, and he was definitely an asset for us. He might have been the man of the match for me. What do you guys think? Who's your man of the match?
I had DeMarco, because he started out on the left side of the defense, then he moved up to left wing back, and he did really well at both of them. I think he stood out more than Gosens did.
Absolutely.
So I think he, made a strong case for at least starting here at the beginning of the season. I guess we're gonna have to see going forward. I think Gosens eventually finally gets back into the form he had at Atalanta, but I think it's going to take a while. And when you're in a Scudetto race, it doesn't matter if it's week 2. You've got to be putting your best foot forward every week, because if not, then you have the Bologna game, you have what we've had last season. So
100%.
I don't know. What do you think, Ian?
First man of the match, it has to be the DeMarco or Dumfries, I guess. He was doing all right at the end of the game. I can see like his hunger and desire to do something.
He came in with energy.
Yeah. He brought the much needed spark off the bench, because I think there was like a time where I won't say the players on the pitch were content with a draw, but it just like seemed that nothing was clicking. Sometimes you just need like that brute force to just power you through. So I think that's like a really underrated aspect that stats really don't show, the amount of energy that a person off the bench can bring, the spark. But yeah, moving forward, something will have to be done. Gosens yesterday, I saw what he was trying to do, the combinations on the left side.
Yeah.
But it just like the final product, the cross, it always seemed to go too far, if you ask me. Yeah. Like you could see Lautaro and Lukaku in the middle of the box, like in the center, and like the crosses just went over their heads
all the way to the wing back. Yeah. You're right. I mean, Ian is not missing anything. I mean, as for a guy that didn't watch the preseason, he made sure he didn't miss a minute of that match. But yeah, he's right. He's right. You guys know how I am. I tend to try to protect our guys, and I don't like singling guys out. But yeah, he was bad, man. He was bad. The times that he did get in space, like Ian said, like he had all the time in the world, and then he just couldn't put in a dangerous ball. In there's one that was too low that he was looking for Lukaku, and you saw that the guys kind of threw their hands at him, like, "What are you doing?" I hope that he can get his confidence straight, and then hopefully he can get either like a quick little assist or a goal that works for his confidence, because we're gonna need him. We're gonna need him. Although I do see a future as for Demarco as a left wing back going forward in the team. I think we're much more dynamic with Gosens, and we need him at his best. But yesterday definitely wasn't it. I hope Inzaghi doesn't give up on him, and that he could find an assist or a goal, something to boost in confidence and go from there.
Yeah, we're gonna need both of those guys. It's a long season. Different matches are gonna require different profiles, and that's the depth that I know Inzaghi has been wanting and didn't really have last season. So I mean, if he has this depth that he feels comfortable with, where he can throw four strikers on and move somebody from center back to wing back in the middle of a match, like, I mean, I think that's only better for him as a manager and us as a team in turn. But spare a moment for Lukaku, I guess, scoring within like 90 seconds. The hold up play that I thought he brought was sorely missed last season. It wasn't like when we were getting pressed and getting really, compressed there at our end of the pitch. Um, it's not just hoofing the ball up to Dzeko and then it feels like the pitch is just tilted like this and it just rolls back at you. You could actually get out and get going, and I thought that was something that helped a lot. Even though we didn't create massive amounts, that kept us from being under too much pressure when Lecce, got their goal and could have even got a second. I know there was a save that Handanovic made, but
Free kick, yeah.
yeah, that free kick. But I thought it was just a sight for sore eyes to see somebody.
Look at Ian. I hate this guy,
Hey,
man.
what's
Every
up,
time
huh?
you say something positive about Andanovic, he's like wanking like.
Yes, you
and
can
I
have
always
your
catch
one,
it.
Dave.
I
You
don't I
can
don't think
have your
Mikey
one.
caught it, but I
No,
caught
I did
it.
not. I was
I was
the
looking at
gears
the
were
stats
turning
for
too hard.
Lukaku. I just heard Mikey say Handanovic, a good save. I was like,
Yeah,
Mine's
I'm no.
mine's a nut.
No, he did have a couple good saves as well. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know. It seems like in as far as the goalkeeper position goes, we're gonna be in the drama all season, because we don't want it to be a situation where a guy makes a mistake and we're like, okay, we want the next guy. And then imagine Onana comes and then he makes a mistake. Now we're gonna, oh no, we have Andanovic, bring Andanovic back. I think a solid decision has to be made and stuck by, regardless of what it is, and it has to be Onana because he's the future. But it seems like we're gonna just keep it as it is right now and wait for the first big Andanovic mistake before a change is made. So hopefully it's not something that costs us points. I know Ian would agree, but it's just my
are we
opinion.
are we forgetting a certain Alex Cordas on the bench as well?
No, he's
No,
just
the
he's
anti
just
Quarters is
anti
only there
Brian.
to make the list,
2.0.
okay?
No, but come on, would it be hilarious for both quote unquote starting goalkeepers to fuck it up so bad that we had to play Cordas for a game?
Nah,
I think that would be
that's
hilarious. I would
impossible.
pay to see that.
I don't want to see that. I don't want you to pay for us to have to be subjected to
Yes,
that.
yes, Ian. This
Oh,
guy.
come on.
It would be good. It would be good. No, I was just wanted to touch on Lukaku yesterday. So he had 3 ground duels won and 4 aerial duels won, which I think is more than Dzeko combined last season. Yeah. But he also had like 11 possessions lost.
Yeah. No, he
Almost
wasn't
fouled
phenomenal.
0 times. So
I don't think he was phenomenal by any stretch of the imagination.
Mhm.
I'm glad he was able to shithouse that goal, because of course that relieves pressure, and that allows him to keep playing. Um, like Mikey said, his hold up play, we missed that sorely, and we saw a lot of times where he could hold up the ball and continue it on to the the wing back or to Barella, whoever is next to him. That's something that I think Inzaghi is going to keep using, and that's going to be one of the ways that we bypass the press and bring in the likes of Gosens and Dumfries into play. You know, it didn't look good yesterday. I can't say it did, but yeah, he got a goal, and he should have had that second goal. There was an open goal that he struck, and then that Lecce player, he just threw himself at the ball. You know, those guys were defending with their lives yesterday. Um, yeah, I feel like he'll be fine. He'll score plenty of goals. Towards the end, we started looking for him more, where we're sending balls straight to him and playing more off of him. I think Inzaghi is gonna do that more. You know, but yeah, he was decent yesterday, but not Lukaku, not what we're waiting for yet.
Yeah, there was another time I thought he should have had a goal where him and Lautaro just pressed really well and got the ball free, and I think Lukaku was in on goal, and they called like the stupidest little touch foul, I think, on Lautaro. And
Yeah,
I mean, Lukaku was
Oh
20
yeah,
yards, 20 yards from the
yeah,
goalkeeper,
yeah,
like
yeah. I saw
nobody
that.
else in front of him.
I saw,
And
yeah.
yeah, that one frustrated me a lot because the ref had a questionable game. I'm not going to blame the performance on that, but my
Mhm.
God, what was going on there?
Yeah, starting with that tackle on Lotaro, you know, I was certain that he was gonna reverse the call and give the guy a red after he went to the VAR, but he kept it yellow. It seems like the guy could have broken Lotaro's ankle. You know,
Yeah.
he had both of his legs, so it was crazy, man. But give me a second, I gotta pick up this phone call.
All right. Yeah, I'll just carry it on from there. Yeah, the tackle on Lautaro was horrible. Studs up first, and then somehow scissor follow through. I don't know how you get the two most dangerous types of challenge put into one, but he absolutely cleared dude out, and I don't know how that was not a red. I saw some people saying that it wasn't, or that it was like an orange. But if you're endangering the safety of a play, I thought this was the whole like baseline of it. If it's dangerous, like
They're
I say,
dangerous
off.
play, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. And again, since we are on the topic of the referee, that penalty on Zeko, I guess that personally, I wasn't necessarily clamoring for it, but seeing the replay, the guy had Zeko's shirt. He was tugging on the shirt the whole time. And after the match, I think one of the referees came back, or an old referees came back and said that should have been a penalty. You know, so here we go again, where if something's 50-50, more likely than not, it's not going to go our way, you know. But I'm glad we were able to handle the situation and it didn't come down to that, you know, because we would have been here having a whole different conversation had it been 1-1 and then we had those questionable calls to discuss right now.
yeah, that wouldn't have been the most fun episode. It would have been with some fireworks, but no, that would have been depressing.
the refereeing standard yesterday was very very questionable if you ask me, because okay, yeah, the Lautaro first challenge on Lautaro was very iffy to say the least. I do love how he tried to pay him back, you know, with a receipt of his own.
He got his
I
lick
thought
back.
that
He did.
I thought that was like proper Burnley 4-4 fucking 2 thing to do under Sean Dyche. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that
a
was
proper tackle, man.
I think that was
Proper.
hilarious.
Brexit tackle.
But I also saw. Did you see Skriniar like going to Lautaro after that happened, like basically trying to calm him the fuck down, because I thought Lautaro was
Yeah.
gonna do like an Icardi type shit. He was gonna, I'm gonna
Yeah.
fucking murder your whole family.
Get some
He just came
Cesares
into
from
it, like,
Argentina.
Yeah.
like jumped in, grabbed it. Yeah. When he calmed Lautaro down.
Yeah, Mattia had a comment about that. I just had to throw that in there since we were getting to that. Yeah, I noticed that, and like they showed like a slow motion of the tackle and like the anger on Lautaro's face. I'm like, how do you look like cartoonishly angry while doing this? It was awesome, but I was also like, man, that guy's scary.
Yeah, but
I
the
don't wanna
dope
fuck
thing
with that
about
guy.
it is that he managed to get a clean tackle all
Yeah.
while being so fucking angry. You could hear the ball. He played the ball. Boom. So yeah. Another thing about that incident, credit where it's due. Oh man, he is having such a good time today. When Andanovic saw that, he left his goal for a change. He ran up to the goalkeeper and he was really clamoring with it, like, "Hey, listen, this has got to be a red card. You got to go check the VAR and stuff like that." We always talk about how Andanovic is super passive and the calming presence. So I guess it's good to see him kind of be a little more fiery and take his captaining duties more seriously. So
Look,
kudos to Andanovic.
as a
Yeah, yeah.
Slovenian,
Oh,
all I'll say is we do the bare minimum. We're the Montenegrins of Central Europe. But now that he has actual competition, I guess he has to actually do some shit. He actually
Now
has
you
to.
now you spitting. Now you spitting.
Hey, I'd be the same, man. If there was someone in my work doing the same job as me, he's
Going
starting to
above
pick
and
up, bro.
beyond.
No, but there was an interesting thing that the Slovenian commentator said yesterday that like traditionally referees in Italy demand respect from the players. And yesterday you could see that the players weren't taking anything from the referee. He didn't have control of the game. Like he saw the players go and like do this in his face. Like if he tried to do it to the referee from 2006 World Cup, you guys know who I mean.
Yeah.
If you try to do that with him, he'd fucking break your finger, So I think that was also a big part yesterday because the whole match was messy from a refereeing point of view, and inconsistent and VAR reviews and stuff like that.
Well, when you're a team like Lecce, I mean, this is just kind of, I think it happens in every league, but it's very blatantly obvious in Serie A, where one of these small teams, they want it to be a shit show because that benefits them, gamesmanship wise. Because after Lecce got that second goal, or not second goal, Jesus, that would be a bad day. After they got
that equalizer,
after they got their goal, they pulled off the goal scorer and brought on another center back.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's after you've had these tackles that have pissed everybody off, and your pitch looks like someone put a plow through it like 3-4 days ago.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like that kind of benefited us a bit, Mikey, because I know, like, we all, when you're watching a match, you kind of could feel it slipping from your hands. At that point, I feel like they were wrestling the match away from us. They had just equalized, and then they had just almost gone ahead with that free kick. And then he goes to he takes off Cisse, who was a guy that was giving the Ryan Skriniar all types of issues with his pace, and he puts on a defender. I mean, and that's when we started really wrestling the match back from them, and then it started being domination from there. And again, like you said, like after they equalized, they went straight to gamesmanship and shithousing. That's kudos to them as well. That's a sign of a team that won their league last year. They're Serie B champions. That's a mark of a champion. That's what you want. Once you got the result you want, you have to be able to do the shithousing to take it home, and that's what they were doing. Thank God we brought it away. But I still expect them. I'm sorry. I still expect them to go down next year. I feel like that was just first match of the season. Everybody's excited. The whole city's hype. The stadium is full. So let's go. But after that, like, I think they're gonna go down.
yeah, I mean, I guess Lecce and probably Cremonese are like top 2 relegation candidates. I mean, we'll have to see through the season, but I mean, credit to Lecce. Every team shithouses at some point. We tried to shithouse well, in the past few years, tried to shithouse against Spurs back in the Spalletti era. I mean, Liverpool last year.
Bro,
I mean, Real Madrid.
You don't even have to go that far. Last year, we tried to shithouse a derby win, and we lost it 2-1. We were up 1-0, and then we wanted to take off Hakan. We took off all offensive players, and we lost. So yeah, shithousing does backfire sometimes, and we were a victim of it a couple times for sure.
Yeah, I felt like Lecce started way too early with it. Like it was like 64th minute, and that was where I was like, all right, it's the worst feeling when you're watching like Milan or Juve and this happens against them because you're like, they started too early, they're going to get a goal. Being on the side of it where I was like, they started way too early and this team can find a goal from one of these. Even at that last corner, I was sitting there and I never really got to the point of dread that I was like, they're not ever going to score it. Maybe a couple times while dudes were lying on the floor and I was like, all right, like they're hacking and rolling around. Like if you don't get back towards the goal, like if you don't get within the penalty area, you're not going to score. But once we got down there and we were consistently winning corners, I was like, all right, one of these is going to go in. And
Yeah.
it was the
No, I
last one.
mean, honestly, I have to be honest. It was the opposite for me because I don't remember exactly at what point, but I think there was this one last chance that we had, and they saved it. I'm like, yo, okay, you know what? That's it. It's just not happening. I think it was before the corner. What was it? What was it that led to the corner? It was
There were two corners. There was one, I think DeMarco got in behind and tried to cut it, or there was a cross into him and he tried to cut it back across, but he hit the defender and it dribbled out. And then you have a
Okay.
corner from the left. That corner comes in. It's put out to the right. That corner from the right back in is the goal.
Yeah, I think there was a chance before that. I was like, you know what, it's just not happening, and to the point that even after the goal went in, I'm still waiting because I see that there was a chance of being offside, and then
Yeah.
especially when they showed the VAR, I lost my mind, But it's a good feeling to win like that. I just hope that they don't put us to that too much more, but it's kind of funny as an Inter fan looking at your team playing in Lecce, and then you're like, yes, seeing them take off a player because that's a team that you're supposed to be dominating. But I'll admit that's where I was like, because to me they had the control of the match at that point. But then I think he took the coward's way out, in my opinion, by taking off his attacking options, and he kind of handed us back the match. And I guess thank you for that.
Yeah. Big thanks.
I thought the pussy thing to do was from their goalkeeper. Like, he has the control of the ball. He jumps down. He stays down there. I think I counted like 25 seconds or something. And apparently there's a rule that you have to have the
To
ball
release
for
the ball,
6
yeah.
seconds, and then you have to
Mhm.
distribute it.
And the ref didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Well, the
No,
ref couldn't. That was very far down on the list of things that he was fucking
Yeah.
up. So I mean,
No, but
no
why don't
chance.
why is that, like, that's like the most common time wasting tactic, and like it's the least enforced one, even though it's one of the rules or
It's an
guidelines.
actual rule, yeah.
Yeah, like there was a striker that I read about that he used to like go towards the goalkeeper and just like start counting with his
Counting,
hands.
yeah.
Like, just do that, Well, I don't know, but I think in the end, all of us were like this. Like Sean was.
Look at Sean. Look at this guy.
I was crying. I saw that, but like, I think he even throws the pillow in the air.
Look at his face. You could tell this guy came from like, it was like, damn, bro, it's been a long one.
And it'll age you. It's tough. I'm glad I was home alone yesterday. Because there were times I was groaning and yelling and not happy. Like Barella blasting the ball over the crossbar more times than I can count. That's
Yeah.
traumatic. I think it was only like 2 or 3 times, but it just came at times where you have sustained pressure and the ball just kind of bounces back out to him. And instead of, recycling play, resetting, it's just, I'm going to kick an NFL field goal and we're going to start over. The goalkeeper is going to walk around for 10 seconds. The ball boys are going to forget where all the balls are. Like, all of that comes right after that. Or like anytime there was a foul, anytime there was a point where someone could time waste, I was just like, y'all, you can't let them do that. Like, you have to take that opportunity away. And I felt like Barella didn't have the greatest game. I mean, he was the most noticeable of the 3 midfielders. I will give him that. He was working the hardest, I think.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
He was making some bad decisions at the wrong moments.
Yeah. Do you remember towards the end when the referee gave some bullshit foul to Lecce when their guy was trying to time waste and Barella stole the ball from him?
Yeah.
Like it was all little moments like that told me like, yo, the ref just was not having it with us today, and he looked young too. I don't think I've seen him in the league.
That was one of the big things, is like, he's new. I don't know if maybe he's just up from Serie B or if they're giving him experience before he goes to Serie B.
Why is he doing our games?
I don't know. Who did Milan have? I mean, I don't. It's too early to play.
Do you want to listen to
they got that penalty
sure.
that they got was
Yeah.
less of a penalty than the Dzeko thing, in my
I
opinion.
mean, to me, here's my thought on Milan's penalty. To me, watching it live, it was a 50-50. If it was something that he called on the pitch, I wouldn't have any issue with it. But the fact that he chose not to call it on the pitch and then VAR made him go and reverse it, like I didn't see any clear and obvious error there. It looks like Calabria went over on the ball and then causing them the collision, causing them to go into the collision with Sopi. So to me, I found that curious. There wasn't anything for him to reverse. But had it been given on the pitch, I wouldn't have had any issues with it either way. I don't want to dwell on it too much because they still deserve to win and they won by 2 goals. But yeah, definitely they shouldn't have had a penalty in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just more an example for me because that's the first game that I watched yesterday. That
Yeah,
there's still no consistent implementation of VAR.
no,
There's no consistent refereeing, even though every year the refs say that, oh, we're not going to call the little touch fouls. We're going to let things go. We're going to call it
yeah,
the right
yeah,
way. And it's the same thing every year. That's just kind of what I wanted to point out. I mean, it's a very obvious low-hanging fruit, but it's still something that, will grind your gears when it's 1-1 in the 90th minute and someone can just roll around on the floor or the goalkeeper can, take a nap. Like, you can't
and
have that
nothing
happen.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys want to check out the comments?
Yeah, I was about to go there. Let's see. Mattia, this club's going to kill me, I think. We all felt that way. Mr. Pleasant asking if everyone's recovered. Yeah, but wins, a W there at the end. I mean, that'll kind of help. I mean, the heart palpitations, you feel
Yeah.
it for like 30 minutes to an hour afterwards. Like just that like adrenaline of.
Yeah, shout out to Saif because we saw the post that Saif made with like he had the heart monitor, he had
Oh,
the
yeah.
the blood pressure thing, everything for like that's pretty much a kid that you need to be an Inter fan because this shit fucks up your health. Only thing he's missing is like some tinting products to tint your gray hairs because that's one thing that the club does to you as well. But
Yeah. Yeah.
what's up?
We got hi there here. Brozo and Gosens clearly not match fit. Aslani and Bellanova we didn't see. Don't really understand the decision. I don't think Bellanova would have been a good option in this match. I think this is a match where you need a more decisive profile, and I don't think he's that yet. It's going to take some time for him to be that. Aslani, I wanted him to start, especially Brozovic wasn't fit. I didn't want to put Brozovic through the ringer that we know he's going to go through, but I guess we saw why he shouldn't have as well. I mean, he looked a little shaky, but he'll play himself into form. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
What else? Dumfries man of the match from Mattia. Hristo says everyone has to subscribe or Inter won't win next week. If everyone actually subscribes, the bigger thing would be if Hristo actually appeared.
Exactly. Yeah, if everybody subscribes, Risto promises to be present for the next episode. We're gonna see a Sasquatch sighting.
Mr. Pleasant talking about Lecce's game plan that we were talking about. Take your opponent down to your level and you're good to go. That's what Lecce did, and that's what you do if you want to win. Yeah, it's fair. I mean, it's just the fact of football. Like one of the matches that Interisti loved the most is, the second leg of the Champions League semifinal 2010. And what was that? That was an entire 90 minutes of that kind of shithousery.
Suffering, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if it happens for you, it's great. If it's against you, it's the worst thing in the world.
Exactly. I mean, I guess the result determines how you feel about it. Because at the end, like yesterday, after we won at the very, very last minute, it felt more like something like going on a roller coaster. Like it's fun. You're scared. You have some scary moments, but at the end, it's fun, and you probably want to do it again. But had we lost, it would have been like, damn, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun to you too.
Oh my god.
It's fun to you too. You have like the whole day ahead of you in America. I have to go at bed at like 11. How am I supposed to go to bed with like 190 pulse?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Like after that, I got to cook dinner. I went out, whatever. Like I don't know. You get your mind off of it, especially with a loss. I don't know. Losses can kind of ruin a day in America, but also you have the rest of it. Like I wouldn't want to go to
Oh,
bed with that being the last thing I did that day, watching Inter lose.
Roma just scored.
Who?
Oh, my stream is way
I
behind.
think is Cristante. From where I was, it kind of looked like Dybala because I think
Yeah,
it's a left-footed strike.
yeah.
But
I just saw it. Yeah, Cristante. Roma. I think that's still a team we talked about last week. That's gonna be one to watch. Um, I don't know when we play them, but that'll be an
mm,
interesting match. Matty had a question here as well. What do you think about the new away kits? Obviously, we didn't know about them until like 3 days ago. I mean, you knew
yeah,
from renderings if you're into
yeah,
following that type of thing, but actually seeing them on the pitch, I really like them. I think the colors are cool. I think the map idea is cool. Yeah, solid kit.
yeah. No, actually, I love it. To me, it's up there with remember the light blue kit we had the first season that Lukaku came. I think it's up there with that kit for me. I love the concept. Personally, um, that's one of the things I love the most about the club is the whole brothers of the world thing, the inclusivity and stuff. Having that, on the shirt and having the map in there is definitely something that I love. I can't wait to get it. I just want to make sure that the Mercado is over first, that we don't sell anybody. Because last year I bought the Lukaku kit, as you guys knew, and then he left. So I want to wait till the end of the Mercado before I order my kits.
Same with me. The Chinese one.
Uh, well, you're not going to be out that much money anyway if you do that. You're
Eh,
fine.
True.
No, but
no.
yeah, I like it a lot, and I think it being a Brothers of the World concept really helps the brand over here as well.
Of
So,
course, yeah, they did the kit for us. The Inter's like, yo, we got this podcast that's been popping. Like, we got to do a kit for them. Thank you, thank you, Inter. You're welcome.
in before the cease and desist comes like next week.
No, I don't know why the kids producers or the kid manufacturers, designers, whatever, they're afraid to make like creative kits. Like all you see nowadays is like the same monochromatic, the minimalistic kit. And it's like you have the one that's behind Dave on his wall. That's a beauty of a kit to me. The collar, the whatever is here across the chest, it's something different. So when you look at a collection like for 10 or 15 or 20 years back, like you can see, oh, they had this, they had the Sprite kit, they had the red kit that I vividly remember Palacio wearing. You have the all sorts of kits. I really don't know why most manufacturers don't try and do something else.
I don't know.
You're
I
right.
love a good, just basic like home intricate where it's just the blue and the black. You don't have the zigzags. You don't have like the broken thing across the middle from a few years ago. You don't have like the barcode. Like
Yeah.
just give me the stripes, give me the black and the blue, the colors that everyone is repping, and like that I can be good with that. We need one of those. Like it's been a few years. Like
Well,
this year's kind of
that's what I was about to
this
say.
year
So
I don't like the collar thing going on
the
up here.
neck, yeah.
It makes it feel like something from like the Tour de France or something. Like I feel like Lance Armstrong would wear that while like
And if,
biking
if you
down a
look
mountain
around,
in France.
and if you look around, I think that's Nike's design for the year. Like all of their teams, that's the same kind of neck that they have.
Yeah, Barca's
But
got it this year.
hmm
Look, say
Chelsea,
what you
all them.
want. Puma third kit from last year, where they have the name of the club across here.
We
Yeah.
talk,
Those are some, I don't know what weed they were smoking. Maybe
Well, you
Figo
were
can
just
hook them
talking
up.
about how you wanted people to do creative things, and now you're like,
No,
they did
yeah,
something
because
creative
I
and it
like
was
it.
ass.
You like that?
It's a one-off kit. I think it's great. No,
I mean,
crap.
but
It's something original.
they gave all the teams the same one pretty much with their color. Like to me, that was lazy. What do you think, Mikey?
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of those. That's why I thought you were
If
going. I
if
just
if
assumed
anything,
that you were going to say something bad about them because,
I
like,
thought I thought he was actually talking about the cum kit. You know which one? The one Milan had, Milan, and the big white stain in the middle.
yeah, I
I don't know what the
vaguely
hell they were doing with
recall.
that one.
Yeah, that was like one or two times last season, right?
Yeah.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
that
I
one's
need to
bad.
Google this word
I
for
don't know. I
word.
don't know if you need to Google
Milan
that word
come
for word.
kit.
Please don't put it on the screen. This is
I'm sure you're gonna find it if you type that.
yeah. But
The first link.
I told you the come kit.
yeah, that was a really bad kit. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
Nah, it looks like the printer ran out of color. What is
Yeah,
this?
yeah. They couldn't afford all the ink, but they still won the Serie A that season, which is something. But yeah, how are we feeling? I guess pretty much after 1 week of Serie A, are there any teams that have stood out outside? Well, even like not talking about Inter because that wasn't much of a standout.
Mhm.
Did anybody look like outstandingly good or outstandingly bad or what?
Mm.
Milan's gonna be the team to beat. I mean,
Yeah, I mean
simple as that.
they're the champions, so by default, I guess you got to give them that respect. They do also have a swagger that comes with it that you just can't buy, and they earned it last year. You could see they played a little loose yesterday, and to me, it's been very limited matches. I've only watched 4 matches so far, and of course, it's match day one. But if I have to choose a team, then yeah, so far Milan are the team that I would say they look like a team that they didn't miss it. They haven't missed a step from last year. They hit the ground running.
Yeah, I mean, they went down early, and I thought like, oh, we're back to the Milan of old. But then they get the penalty handed to them, and then they score some actual like decent goals. So
Hmm.
yeah, the meltdown has not started yet for them, but it's match day one. Verona and Napoli play tomorrow, and then Juventus and Sassuolo as well. So there's two more glimpses into, I guess, what
Yeah.
we're gonna see from the top teams this season.
Hmm.
But for me, as long as Inter takes care of their business, we're gonna be in the hunt. But you've got to take care of business. Like the matches like yesterday that I would say last season, a lot of the matches that went that way were draws. Like you didn't get that goal at the end, but you had 30 chances, 10 on goal, 1 goal. The other team has 1 chance, 1 goal,
Yeah.
and you're just absolutely flabbergasted. But if, the little bit more of whatever it is that Lukaku brings, just his presence, and that if he gets onto the ball, it's gonna go in the net. It may not be the prettiest, but it's gonna be in the net. And
Yeah.
having that in this team, I think, is just gonna push. He's gonna push us over that one little bit that we need to get over the line in those matches that were 1-1s and 0-0s last season. So I think the way that match went yesterday made me more confident in this team because I see that in the shit games they can pull out the points, and that's something you're going to need. You don't want to see that, but you're not going to get good football yet when the league usually starts 2 weeks later than it is right now. So many players aren't fully fit yet. It's just going to take some time to get actual football like being played, but if you can get the results in the meantime, and they showed that they can, I'm pretty satisfied with that, honestly.
I agree.
Win's a win at the end of the day. 3 points are 3 points.
Yeah, they don't ask you how; they ask you how many. So,
100%.
yeah, um, I think that's about it. Yeah, are there any parting words? We have, what's the match next week? I know we've said it like 5 times, but
I think we have Spezia.
Spezia's home.
Spezia at home. Yeah, so
Saturday night.
expecting
Mhm.
wins across the board or what?
For sure, I am, especially coming off the match that we had yesterday, where we had to save it at the death. I'm glad Inzaghi took exception to that, and he mentioned it in his press conference that okay, it was cool that we'd won at the 95th minute, but we need to figure out how the fuck we can close the match before 95 minutes. I'm sorry for swearing, but hopefully that's what we focus on in training this week, and we get more clinical. And I wanted to add, I think to add to what you were saying, Mikey, about how the way we won the match yesterday gave you confidence. It's the same thing for me. It seems like having that luxury of being able to lump in Lukaku, Zeko, and Lotaro there, it's just teams just can't deal with it. Just the sheer size of Lukaku and Zeko, and you have a Demarco just sending balls in there. It's very very tough to defend, and I feel like that's something that's going to be very beneficial for us as the season goes along.
Yeah, and I guess we do have to get to this one last thing. Mattia bringing up Inzaghi's comments before and after the match, and I assume that's related to the transfer window and him saying
Mhm.
that, you know, he sees other teams buying players and he's
Every
not
day,
getting
yeah,
anything, and all he sees is Inter trying to sell. And we also have Marotta saying that the transfer window's closed, and well, in terms of departures, but
yeah,
I think that management and coaching is trying to use some leverage in the press to keep Suning, who already, aren't the most popular owners in the
yeah,
world. It's some pressure to keep them from shaking up the team right here at the end the way that they did
yeah,
last season.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I'm not. I think they were well timed and they're smart comments. I don't have a problem with it. I think this is the first time Inzaghi's really tried to rock the boat, and I don't blame him. So, yeah, I just
no,
hope that it doesn't turn into some kind of faction war between Suning and management because
yes,
that would be terrible. But I don't think that's going to happen. I
mhm.
think this is a stone that gets kicked down the road, hopefully, until Suning sell the club maybe before next summer.
Yeah, me too. I agree with you. Very well said. Dybala actually almost scored. He just hit the post, but I agree. I feel like that's something that neither of us, none of us really expected. Even watching Zhang speak about Inzaghi, he's always talking about how it's a pleasure working with him. He's a joy. He's a gift, or whatever. Pretty much, when your boss is saying that, he's pretty much saying that you have no backbone and that he can walk all over you. So seeing him pretty much put his foot down, saying, "Hey, listen, I don't find it amusing. I'm not laughing." Every day we're watching our rivals bring in new players, and every day we're being rumored to be selling our best players, and you guys still manage to say that we're favorites. So it doesn't make sense. So him saying that is something that, like you said, Mikey, is going to put pressure on Suning, and the fact that Marotta said the same thing as well. It's like they're both pretty much wiping their hands, like, hey, if anything happens, it's not us, and here's what we want. So let's see what Suning does.
Yeah, I mean, hoping for the best. I think PSG are pretty much out. I think they have something else lined up instead of Skriniar. So I think we're good. I am very scared to say that. I don't know if I can get
Yeah, I got a thunder song out there. You know
you
how
can
Florida goes.
yeah.
Fucking hell,
Been there.
Mike, you see what you did.
Yeah, I don't
Fuck.
like that. You know what? No, that's too ominous. That's too ominous. All right, all right. I'm backing off of that take. I'm backing off of that.
No, what I do like about the comments is that we are all way too comfortable with all the politically correct answers in the press media. Oh yes, this was very good. Oh yes, I like working with him. But even in the NBA, even in the Premier League, everywhere you look at, it's all everyone being nice with each other. I want to see more Tuchel Conte fights like today. Fucking hell,
Yes,
I just
that
need
was
someone
fun.
to. Yeah, it was fun, was it not? See, we need this. We need some more drama, Fucking hell, no
Well, we
one
don't
wants.
need to enter more drama.
No. All
Come
right,
on.
I just want Inzaghi. If Gattuso was still in the league, I can totally imagine Inzaghi and Gattuso like locking heads.
Getting
That
at it,
that that
yeah.
would be fantastic. That would be fun. And we need that with Pioli. Ooh,
Oh my
that's
god.
that would be
No, there's gonna be some fun when the derbies come around, I believe. With Lukaku back, I think it could get fun.
the king of Milano.
He is returned. Um yeah, sorry for anyone listening if they fell out of their chairs with that strike. I know SEC Group Truth said that and shook. Um yeah, warning anyone who's listening back. It's too late to be warning, but yeah. Um I think that's about it from me. Does anybody else have, parting words, anything they want to look for the upcoming week? Anything?
Yeah, just actually, I'm looking forward to seeing us grab Spezia by the scruff of their necks and really have a convincing win. We definitely need that. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm hoping that Gosens could have a performance, and who else? Hakan, Brozovic, those guys, because our midfield weren't good yesterday. So all of those guys that need a good game. Springer included. Hopefully everybody can have a good game. We keep a clean sheet, 2-0, 3-0. I'd love that. So yeah, that's me.
I just want. Can you pull up the last comment from Mattia?
Yeah, hold on. I was the like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Like, subscribe, click the bell icon. Look, it's not that hard. I have it on my phone like now. See?
Hey, free
Just
numbers.
click.
Free numbers. Getting our numbers up.
Click. When we started, we had 190. Now we have 192. So it is working.
We're
yeah.
actively losing followers because no. Thanks to everyone who's been around. I know it's been an hour now. We still have 9 on. We appreciate it. Appreciate the comments as always. It keeps us on track sometimes because we do forget things because we are human and we don't get paid for this. So it helps to have some help there on the side. We appreciate it.
For sure. Thank you guys.
Yeah. So yeah, without further ado, I guess that's it. We'll see you all next week after a win at home against Lecce.